What's going on, Patch Gang? This is Chris with Patch Boy Dar, patches for the culture. And as you can see, today I am rocking my custom Run DMC style bomber jacket. It's all silky and satiny, making me feel all elegant and stuff. In today's video, we are going to be cleaning the Brother Persona's armpit. No, not this armpit. This armpit, right underneath the tubular arm. So it's not actually called the armpit, but that's just what I'm calling it because this whole part is called the tubular arm. So I'm calling it the armpit. So before we get into cleaning the armpit area on the Brother Persona, there are a couple tools that you guys will need. First up, you will need the Phillips screwdriver that comes with the Brother Persona. Next up, we recommend getting some compressed air so that way you can blow out any dust and debris. Next, you'll need some Spot On Versa oil. This can be picked up on our Amazon affiliate link. Be sure to use the link down in the description box below. Last but not least, you will need your little bristle brush to get out any gunk and debris that might be in there. Now that you got all your supplies, let's go ahead and start cleaning out that armpit area. Next up, let's go ahead and remove our bobbin housing. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and take our Phillips head screwdriver. We're going to remove the screw right here and the screw right here. Once again, the screw right here and the screw right here. Be sure not to lose your screws and be sure to put the screws back in the proper screw holes. To unscrew these screws, you will turn them clockwise, as you can see. Be sure not to lose your screws and also be sure to put the screws back into the appropriate holes because they might not be the same. Here is what the screw looks like for the back hole. And here's what the screw looks like in the front. The screws do look to be the exact same screws. All right, you guys, once you want to do those screws, this housing should just come right on off. Let's go ahead and reopen our flap. And as you can see, it comes off nice and easy. Here is what that casing looks like. So you got your bobbin cover here. You got some little hinge mechanism in there. You got the little L shape right here that goes into the back. Easy peasy, nothing too hard. This is a beginner's level type of maintenance, so you guys all at home should be able to do this quite easily. Now, of course, some of you might be wondering why would you want to get access to this particular area on your Brother Persona. When you're doing your regular maintenance using your compressed air, when the cover is on there and you're just spraying back and you're just using your compressed air to spray out all the excess threads, not all threads are coming out. Some threads might be getting blown back into your machine. So that is why you want to open this up just to take a look-see. Not only could there be threads that are possibly blown through this channel and enter into your embroidery machine right here in the back, there are some moving parts in here. For the sake of this demo, I'm going to go ahead and upload a file so that way when we start it, you guys will be able to see what parts are rotating. As you can see, this entire rod is rotating. And of course the machine is going to stop because I don't have anything threaded in the machine, but I'm only doing this so that way I can visually see what parts are moving and what parts potentially I can put a drop of oil on. Once again, you guys should have been able to see what parts are rotating. So as you can see, here is the opening part to the Brother Persona. There are a couple threads in there, but they don't look like they will necessarily be in the way of anything. This is my newest Brother Persona, so this should be relatively clean. I will have to check out the other Persona right over here, but for this tutorial's sake, I want to show you guys on this machine. And I just recently done this process of cleaning and oiling this area. There was a good amount of thread buildup around the rotating arm in there. There was a lot more thread back in this area of the Brother Persona, but I've already gone in there and cleaned it all out. I've even went in and oiled some of the areas up in this portion right here. I've already did my drop of oil over here, but I have been running the machine, so I will do another drop of oil right in here, and I'll show you guys how that goes. So I have already recently went in here and cleaned up this area, and I even added a drop of oil to some of the parts where this rotating arm connects to the rotary area right up in here. Also with my rotary area, where the bobbin housing sits, there was thread lodged behind the rotary area. It was kind of wrapped around. Luckily it wasn't causing any issues, but I was able to use some tweezers to get it out of there and got it all nice and clean. I even put a drop of oil back in that area where this long arm is connecting to the area where the bobbin housing sits. All right, you guys, now that we are here, let's go ahead and oil our rotary hook area. If you guys are enjoying this content thus far, be sure to give us a thumbs up. If you guys would like to make a donation to the channel, be sure to use our super thanks, which can be found on the same line as the thumbs up button and the share button. Once again, if you guys need some machine oil, check out the Spot On Versa Oil, link in the Amazon description below. Now, to access that rotary area that needs to be oiled, let's go ahead and rotate the wheel behind the Brother Persona until the indication line lines up with the triangle. So I'm gonna go ahead and rotate that wheel until it gets lined up with the little triangle notch, which will put the needle into a needle down position. Right there. I know it's a little tricky to see, but the area that we need to put a drop of oil is right in here on this little racetrack area. And when it's in the proper position, you will see that the needle is in a down position. Just one drop of oil right there, bam. Got that oil in there, nice and easy. Oiling the racetrack is relatively easy to do. It is one of the standard recommended maintenances that you guys need to do on your own to keep the machine oiled and well lubricated, so that way your machine run flawlessly. Now, after you apply that oil, we recommend running a sample embroidery at 400 stitches per minute, so that way the oil gets worked around the rotary hook area. If you go straight into doing a custom patch or an embroidery right after oiling, you do want to run at a slower stitches per minute. We recommend the 400 stitches per minute mark, because if you run it any higher, that oil will work its way around quickly with the rotary hook, and you will see some oil on your embroidery. So to avoid that, run it at a lower stitch speed, or just go ahead and run a sample embroidery, so that way the oil doesn't show up on your embroidery on your actual project. And while we're here, I'm gonna come in with my little bristle brush to just go ahead and dust out some areas. I did recently clean this machine, so it is still relatively clean. Another thing to do is to take your bristle brush and make sure you're cleaning out these backside areas. Once again, ours is already clean because we already went in here and cleaned it out pretty thoroughly. But while you're back here, make sure you're taking a look to make sure there's no caught thread anywhere. If there's any caught thread, be sure to use some tweezers to get that thread out of there. And now that you clean the armpit area of your Brother Persona, let's go ahead and put the cover back on. On the cover itself, you can see that there are some little notches that need to get lined up on the back side of the Brother Persona. So let's go ahead and open up our tray. Let's go ahead and line up that back side first. Make sure it sits in place. And let's go ahead and push this cover up. And we go ahead and close the cover. So with one hand, as you can see, I am holding the cover in place. Once the cover is up, you also can release it, and you see it comes down a little bit. But I like to hold it in place just so it's nice and snug. And then I will take one of my screws and start hand tightening it in there. Once it goes up a little bit from hand tightening, I'm gonna take my screwdriver and finish it up. Make sure it's nice and snug. Don't want to over tighten it. Don't want to strip any screws or anything. So that one's on there. Now let's go to the back side. For the back one, I'm gonna just go ahead and set it on my Phillips screwdriver, get it lined up, and just start counterclockwise rotating it in. And there it is. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We hope you guys found this content helpful in regards to cleaning the armpit area of your Brother Persona. This has been Chris with Patchboy.Arb, patches for the culture, and we'll see you on the next Brother PRS100 video. Peace.